Hi there, welcome to your reading. Today we are going to find out what it is that the greater and divine source wants to tell you within your dreams. So you're going to choose one of these three decks, and the timestamps will be down below. This will be Group 1, Group 2, and Group 3. So I'll see you in your reading. Hello Group 1 and welcome to your reading. So let us find out what it is that you're being told within your dreams. So you got the Light Priestess, Galactic Wisdom and Cosmic Ritual. And go with the flow, let go, rest, and manifest. So within your dreams, you are being told to stop trying to control the many aspects of your life. Sometimes you need to allow a more divine source to do the work for you, because not everything can be controlled by you, and sometimes the things that you actually want to happen or want to manifest, you have to give that power to a more divine source to do that for you. Now, because the Priestess card here has cosmic ritual, and here we see people working on something, it's possible that some of you need to take a step back from the race of life and start going back to taking part in or creating a sort of ritual that helps you to feel more relaxed and in tune with that inner spiritual self of yours, right? That internal zone of peace and contentness and stability. Because by racing all the time, you're creating this energy of desperation, of needing something quick and fast. And that's a problem with our society. The more we do that, the more we disconnect from our true selves, the more we disconnect from nature. We keep destroying the god or goddess that we tend to worship or believe in, right? If you, let's say, go to church, you worship a God that, your preachers preach, that has created nature and animals. But then you see people being disgusted by, having pets or seeing dogs or cats around town or the city, or you have no problem littering. So basically, you're destroying and feeling disgusted by the very God that you're basically trying to worship. Animals have been here before us, so technically this planet belongs to them. They have the privilege of being here and having their home here, right? But people are destroying it. People are expanding cities and towns and taking away the very homes that these creatures live in. And then when these creatures start coming to our towns and looking for food or water, then we feel threatened, and of course more force and death comes to them because we think that they're coming to attack us. But it's us that has attacked them. It's us that has taken their homes, right? So you need to connect back into a more divine self of sense, and not the egotistical where you think you're the best, but a more divine sense, as in, your divine masculine, divine feminine, and just enjoying the person you are and feeling a sense of peace and home with who you are, right? Connecting to that peaceful state where you aren't trying to compete with other people, where you aren't trying to judge or hate on other people, but being more internal and looking within, questioning yourself, your state of mind, right? But also partaking in possible rituals, like um, maybe a morning ritual of exfoliating your skin, or a nighttime ritual of, putting some lotion on your body while listening to some instrumental peaceful music, and just having those little unique things to you that connect you to your own little world, right? That you don't have to share with anyone else out there, that you don't have to share on social media, but just having that peaceful moment with yourself. Okay, group one, it feels here that action needs to be taken. I decided to keep the Eight of Swords reversed here. Because it feels like some of you may be sabotaging yourself by not doing the work that is being given to you or told to you within your dreams. With this Emperor card, the first thing that came to my mind when it popped up is you are the master of your own universe. You have the power to create the life that you want, but it's all up to what you prioritize. If you constantly running after money and wealth and the rat race of life, you are never going to feel satisfied, because you're always running and racing to get the next thing, and there is no end. There will always be something better, something greater, right? So you have to find that flow and step back, because it's not until you find yourself that you're actually going to be satisfied. No amount of money or physical items or partners or whatever it is that you're seeking, nothing will satisfy you. There will always be something better, something more. So the only peace and satisfaction you'll get is when you actually find yourself. And it's interesting because some of you have this greater potential, and all of you have a greater ability to connect with yourself, to find out so much more, not just about yourself, but about the world and the people around you. With the High Priestess here, you can see she's sitting on a throne with the sign of the moon on her head, and here you see this light source coming down towards her, because she's always connecting with a greater source, with something higher, with higher potential and ability, higher focus, and even messages. Some of you may have the ability to tune in and get messages from higher source. And if you work on that, if you stop racing and prioritizing this physical life, and actually tune into something more spiritual, something more deeper, something more ancient that has always been within each of us, you're going to live a more fulfilling life. Something new can be born out of this. Something where you take your own power back, where you finally start to see the rewards of what you're working towards. And it does take some time, but some of you may have this ability that is more natural within you, and if only you continue practicing it and connecting more with your internal self, you're going to see a more deeper and beneficial life. This is going to help you with other aspects of your life, because everything is a mirror reflection, right? As above, so below. So whatever your internal space is going to be reflected in your physical reality. You can see that if you've seen those reality shows of people hoarding things, they never look at peace with themselves. They're never vibrant, happy people, right? You always see this this way about them that maybe they're lacking something, maybe they're lost or confused or just cluttered, right? Because that's how their environment is. If they actually worked on themselves, they would actually start cleaning up on their own, right? Everything is a mere reflection of your internal self. So once you start working on yourself inside, on how you think, how you talk to yourself internally, how you verbally talk to other people, what you say, what kind of words you use, what kind of phrasing you use, the deeds you do, right? Your behavior, all of that is a ripple effect. So it all starts from the inside and it trickles out. So if you don't like your physical environment or your life the way it's headed, maybe you feel just lost, maybe you love the person you were before and somehow you just lost that. It's not lost. You just have to go inside and focus on that a little more. So let's see what your moon says. Since we're asking, I don't usually like using the moon deck during the day, but because this is about dreams, we are going to use and see what it tells you. Oh wow. Okay, so you guys got be bold and make the first move. So don't wait for a perfect opportunity or a perfect timing or moment, or maybe you think, okay, wait, I'll just finish this and then I'll get into it. Start now. Okay, be bold. Make the first move. I know that starting is hard. This is why also there are weeks where my readings don't come out, is because when I have to get back into it, it's so much harder to start. But once I start, I keep thinking to myself, why aren't I doing this often? Because it's so much fun and I love it, right? So starting is always the hardest part. But you have to just jump into it, okay? Don't take time thinking, should I, shouldn't I? Or, don't give yourself time to think. Just jump into it. Okay, create a ritual. Do more bonding with yourself. Go out in nature. Go with the flow. Stop racing and just sit still somewhere. Just sit somewhere by the window and just stare out. And I know that it feels like you're doing nothing, but you're actually cleansing your mind. When you're out in nature, when you're observing nature, your eyes are picking up energy within that space, and it's healing you on the inside. Your other card is your hard work is paying off. It's interesting because this new moon here can also be seen on here, right? Her head looks like this moon. Not the dark part, like the lit part here. So keep working on this, okay? Your dreams are trying to tell you that you need to start focusing on your internal self, your divine self, not the ego, okay? Don't confuse it with your ego and thinking you're all that. We're talking about the most natural part of you, the part of you connected with nature, and all of us are. Some may have distanced themselves so much further than others, but we always can go back to it. We can always strengthen our connection to it. So create a little ritual, create something that you feel fun and something that feels magical and unique. And don't post about it. You don't have to talk to others about it. This is just your little personal world that connects you to yourself, to your divine self. And in turn, it connects you to primary source. So that's all I have for you guys. Remember that you can book a personal reading so that it can be truly catered and personal to you. All the information will be in the description box below, and I will see you in your next reading. Hello group 2 and welcome to your reading. So let's find out what your dreams are trying to tell you. The Isle of Wonders, Revelation, Teaching, Discovery. The Moon, oh wow. This is about your intuition. It feels like the source is trying to tell you to connect more with your intuition. Because there are things that you will discover, things that even abilities that can grow from tuning into your intuition, okay? So I'll give you a closer look at the cards because they're really pretty. Look how beautiful that is. This is why I fell in love with this deck, because of how magical every environment is within these cards. So you have that and the Moon card. And it's interesting, right? Because this moon is similar to these ones on the sides here. So the way you tune into your intuition is by listening to the voice that tells you. Your instinct tends to be quick, right? Intuition can come out of nowhere, and it doesn't have to come at a time when you are in trouble or or in fear of something. Intuition can come when you're just sitting somewhere, right, doing your own thing, and suddenly you get this feeling like, I should go to this place right now, or I need to go take a walk, and you have no idea why, but it's like something inside is guiding you, okay? This is like a muscle, right? The more you listen to this and not just like acknowledge it, yeah, okay, this is telling me to be there, but I'm not going to, right? It's not just acknowledging it, but actually doing it. The more you participate in what your intuition is telling you, the stronger it becomes. From that, there are abilities that can grow. For instance, you'll know more quickly when someone is lying to you. You'll feel when someone is being genuine to you. When people are talking about something, you'll be able to pick up on what their actual intention is. So even if they're smiling and being kind and everything, you might start to feel like there's something not right with what they're telling you or with the person. Also, there could be times, and maybe this has happened to you, where basically, even if you know this person for a while, you feel like there's just no way you can open up to them. You don't even feel like there's something wrong with they're lying to you, but it's like you barely speak around them. you just don't know how to connect with them, and it's not because you have different interests or something, or interests or anything, but just there's just like this wall you can't break through like you can maybe with other people. And this is basically your body sensors telling you that this is a fake person. This has happened a lot in my life where people that have been family friends, right, even before I was born, these people have been around my family for decades, right? And even though I see them often or every summer, you know, when they visit from other countries maybe, it's like no matter how much I have been around them, I just can't seem to open up to them. I can't seem to connect with them. And that is because my body is telling me that these are fake people, that how they are portraying themselves in front of me isn't how they actually are. And that's why I just keep my distance. You know, I'm okay to say, you know, hello and, you know, how are things, and talk to them, but I don't take my time to actually be around them. So there's a lot that you can actually learn, and abilities that will open up to you the more you use this muscle. Okay, and it's going to be humbling because spirituality isn't a road paved with roses. If you see people online, and especially on YouTube, where they paint this picture of always being happy because they're spiritual, they are practicing a more toxic positivity or maybe a hippie lifestyle. Being truly spiritual doesn't mean being happy all the time. It's about being honest with who you are, to yourself, with others, practicing what you preach, doing what you actually believe. So it's not saying one thing but doing another. It's about truly being that, what you believe and think and, you know, do. Being one with who you are. So spirituality will look different to many people, okay? One person's spirituality might be living in a cave somewhere, and maybe, you know, going in nature and finding their food there. Another person's spirituality will be, you know, feeding on sun's rays and just water, and that will be enough for them to sustain them and not to make them look anorexic or sick. You know, some people can actually do that. Other people's spirituality may be veganism, and they look healthy and, you know, their body looks healthy. Another person's spirituality may be eating meat, and, you know, but they're honest with who they are, and they do it not for, you know, negative or hateful ways, but to sustain them because that is what their body needs. So spirituality will look different to many different people. You know, every one of those people may be about bringing more love and peace into this world, but the journey there will be different for everyone. So if people are telling you this is what spirituality looks like, get away from them, because that may not be your spirituality. Just like people think that just because they're into spirituality, oh, now I have to start collecting crystals, or now I have to buy tarot cards, or that is not true. You don't have to practice divination to be spiritual. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to have tools of any kind. You can just live your life and be you. And that's spiritual maybe for you. Okay, so it's all about being natural. So tuning into your intuition, that's what your dreams are trying to tell you. What a greater source is trying to tell you through your dreams. Okay, when I first saw the Three of Swords here, it felt like I got the sense that some of you may be heartbroken or things aren't working well for you. And that may be because you aren't in tune with yourself. Maybe you have lost yourself along the way. Right? As we grow up, we choose different paths, and life gets in the way where we're blinded, and eventually we come to this spot in our life where we're like, how did I lose myself? I used to love the person I was, or I used to love doing this and this, but why did I stop, you know? And this thing used to make me feel so much more happier, but I stopped doing it and now I'm just miserable. Or maybe you are partaking in things that are making you miserable. Like maybe disrespecting your body by putting things in that are toxic for it, right? Or being in toxic relationships and you always keep choosing the same type of people. For some of you, it feels like a spiritual road that you may be on, or that you will be on, will or can get tough, and you may find struggle. But the things that you have to understand is that the people that have struggled the most in life have become some of the most spiritual type of people. They're the type that do get abilities, and I don't mean like these people that tell you that they're mediums or psychics. I mean like true abilities, and they don't label it. They don't call themselves witches or, you know, try to make themselves out to be special. They keep that to themselves, but do help others in the process without those labels. You'll find that the most genuine people that actually have powers or have certain skills in general, it doesn't even have to be magical, but just, you know, general skills, they don't go around advertising it, right? Anything that needs an advertisement, whether it's commercials or whether it's someone claiming they are something, or constantly telling other people what their sexual orientation is or something, it all comes from a sense of being fake. And I'm not saying that they aren't those things, right? But it comes from this egotistical state. A wolf doesn't have to remind people that it's a wolf, right? People know what it is. And you're not going to see a commercial for a Lamborghini, right? You don't see those companies trying to get people to buy them. Anything that is of quality, that is genuine and truly is what it is, doesn't need a commercial. It doesn't need advertisement. It doesn't need people telling others what it is they are. People will know. People will spread it by word of mouth. They will want to come to you or believe in you, or, you know, because you'll just have that sort of presence about you. So the reason why nature has created it that you have to struggle in order to get these abilities is to prevent egotistical people from abusing those abilities. Okay, through the struggle, the source is basically humbling you. It's making you let go of your egotistical ways. It's making you let go of material possessions. And I don't mean that you can't have them. It just means that they can't possess you, right? You can have things, but egotistical people, they tend to put those things on a pedestal, and it's actually material items that are possessing them, right? So through struggle, you're going to be humbled. And through that humbleness and your ability to still hold your head up high and still get up every time you're being brought down, those things are going to awaken even more of your intuition and even more of your abilities. You're going to see the world through a different set of eyes. It feels like some of you do have nightmares and maybe even insomnia, like things maybe keep you up at night. Burdens and maybe regrets, fears. All of these things stem from some sort of fear. But trusting your intuition will guide you to a more balanced life where you're basically balancing the physical and the spiritual together. You're uniting them within your environment, within your life, in order to create something new from it, right? A new potential. So don't fear it, okay? Slowly adapt to it. If you aren't ready for something, don't go into it, right? So do what feels natural. Something that doesn't require you to, like, you know, when you're basically starting out a work routine, right? And maybe that specific work routine isn't natural for you, so you start to get lazy and it's even more difficult to even want to do it, right? That's because that work routine isn't natural to you. There's so many different routines you can try. Maybe working out isn't for you, maybe dancing is, right? Dancing also works out your body. So this is about finding what fits naturally with your rhythm. Okay, so it's not about not doing anything new or not partaking in anything. It's about just what feels natural, where you're actually happy to do it. You know, where it doesn't require so much work and dedication and patience, where it just sort of fits and connects with you, right? So you may need to prioritize and reorganize or restructure your life a little. Just remember to keep trusting your intuition. Maybe have a journal and write down the moments you felt something, that you had to do something or had to say something, or maybe what you felt about someone. You know, write it down and see how it makes you feel, what you think. And just have a journal where you keep a record of everything. So that when you become stronger at it, you can read that journal again and see just how this thing thrived and the journey that you began with it. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys today. Remember that you can book a personal reading so that you get a reading that is more catered and personal to you. All the links will be in the description box below, and I'll see you guys next time. Hello group 3, and welcome to your reading. So let us find out what your dreams are trying to tell you. Light Dancer. Illumination, the radiant self, shining soul. Entrapment. Okay, so this is very obvious. You are trapped in where you are right now. And it doesn't have to be environment-wise. It could be your body or the limit you put on your mind. You are meant to be a light dancer. And that doesn't mean a dancer, like literally. But someone, and you probably were this when you were younger, someone that it was so carefree, someone that had a great sense of imagination, of wonder, of daydreaming, of, you know, just being in that world. And this is what you're supposed to be. It feels like you lost yourself along the way, like you're limiting your mind. Or maybe you are physically limited within your space. Maybe it's people that are trying to guide you in a direction of this physical world where you feel trapped and imprisoned by it. But that is not meant for your soul. Look at the difference of colors here, right? Look how toned down this is, and look how vibrant and beautiful and magical this is. This is where you need to be. Your dreams are telling you that you need to go back to this state of mind, this state of being. You need to be more carefree, more imaginative. You need to partake in your passions and hobbies again. Don't let go of something that is so naturally ingrained in you, that you have natural skills at. You need to do this. You need to put this into action. Deep inside, you're a beautiful soul. One that danced along the rivers and streams, one that flew higher than the trees. You're breathtaking. This is what your inner self looks like. Don't allow this limitation to ruin the rest of your life. Okay, you need to get back to this. So let's see what your tarot has to say. What are you trying to do? Okay, group 3, you have been using a lot of excuses as why you can't go back to this state, or, maybe why you can't partake in your passions, or why you can't free yourself and be that, person that was carefree and full of wonder. It's like you're constantly telling yourself these excuses, but maybe it's you that's limiting yourself. This will and needs to change in order for you to free yourself and to truly live life, not just exist in this world, but truly live. There's so many stories that you will end up telling either your descendants or your friends, years down the line and years down the road, after going back into this true mode, this true format of your being. There's so many adventures that you will have. There's so many things that you'll get to experience and see and share with other people. There's a lot of potential for new beginnings of something amazing, and I'm hearing the word invest, some investment. Going back into this way, you are going to be whole in a way, right? Because the temperance is like a balance, right? Dark and light. There's a balance here. Right now, you are focusing on just one way of living, right? This physical way. This, you need to make money, you need to be responsible, you need to, sure, okay, you need to do those things to live your life, right? To have money to pay for food and bills and things like that. But you're taking it way too seriously. Because you can have both. You can be responsible, but you can also be carefree. You can also see life through that childish, not childish, but a childlike way. Remember what you were like as a child. Remember when you used to play with your friends, especially when summer would come, or even in the winter when you'd had snowball fights and when you'd make mountains out of snow, where you allow a snowflake to land on your nose, or when you'd catch fireflies, or do some fishing by the stream with your father or grandfather, or those were magical times. And you can still create magic even as an adult, as a grown-up. Remember when you were little and just seeing how boring grown-ups were? Now ask yourself, did you become one of those boring adults? What would your child self think if he or she stood in front of you, looking up at you? Would they find you boring? Try to look at yourself through your childhood eyes. Imagine observing your older self going around the house, acting as you act, Would you be scared to grow up? You're more vibrant than what you remember to be. And you need to remove these fishtails you tell yourself. You need to stop taking yourself too seriously. Because remember, you can be a responsible grown-up, but you can also see life in a magical way. You can find beauty where others can't. You're a light dancer. You dance among stars. You visit other planets when you dream. You escape your body every night, as we all do. And you visit worlds of enchantment. You are enchanting. Don't allow this physical realm to tone down your shine and your flame. Keep that alive in you at all times. And don't let go of those passions that you once had or still have. You're born with those things for a reason. Maybe you need to, open your own business and do what you're actually passionate about. So this is what your dreams are trying to tell you. Remember that you can book a personal reading with me. All the links will be down in the description box below. And I wish you luck. You need to get out of this prison, and you need to start becoming that light dancer, a shining soul, a radiant soul. It's your duty to illuminate this world, to show the world how magical we can truly be. That's all I have for you guys today. I will see you in the next one.